This has got to be the coolest piece of gear I've ever brought into the woods. It doesn't see light, it sees heat. Welcome back to Beast Mode Camping. Today we're diving into a thermal monocular that'll absolutely blow your mind. This is the GTGuard AI15. But before we put it to use, let's get it back to the unboxing table and see what's inside. All right, so let's open up the box and see what we got. One USB charging cable, one fine cleaning cloth, a felt storage bag, some instructions, but after watching this video, you won't need them, and a lanyard in case you want to wrap this thing around your wrist. This handheld thermal imaging monocular telescope is equipped with a 256 by 192 infrared detector and a 1.43-inch AMOLED display. It features maximum temperature target tracking and Wi-Fi image transmission so you can connect it to your phone while you're out and about. The USB-C port is used for charging as well as moving files to your computer, since it has 32 gig of onboard memory. The main controls are power, zoom, menu, and photo or video. To the rear, you've got an adjustable diopter that can be adjusted based on your needs. It's very smooth. Alright, so enough of that. Let's get back to the test. So the first thing I wanted to do was come out to the creek area. Let's see what we can see. There's a green cursor in the middle of the screen and it'll focus on anything it feels is the hottest. So that's going to be great if you're looking for predators out there. Now let's switch between the colors. We got the green hot, white hot, black hot. Red hot's going to show you just faint images. And my favorite, the iron red hot. Now if you hold down the menu, you can go between different scene modes. So right now we're in normal. You can go to outline, look at a couple different modes on here. This basically looks like it's changing how much information is actually being brought into the monocular. I'm going to go ahead and change it to forest since that's kind of where we are. Once you see something you want to zoom in on, just hit one of the buttons and it's going to go ahead and zoom it up to 8 times. Whoa, that's a lot. Let's check out bird watching and see what we can find. I'm going to go ahead and change it back to normal. That seems like it brings in the most information. Now this monocle piece is really nice, rubberized, and it's really helping to black out everything other than what I'm wanting to see through here. Now while this is great, I am getting a lot of heat because in this Texas sun, it seems like it's lighting everything up substantially. So I'm gonna go ahead and see how this fits in my pocket while I wait for the sun to go down and see how it works then. All right, I wanted to show you a little bit about the on-screen display and the menu system. Unfortunately, when you pull over the MP4s, this information isn't on there. So I had to rig another camera to the lens, and I apologize if it gets out of focus while I'm doing this. Up top, you've got if you're connected to a network, if you're using the AI image enhancer, and battery life. And at the bottom, you've got the time, date, and zoom level. And last but not least, the hotspot indicator. First, let's talk about the menu system. If you hold this button, it'll bring up a set of menus. Then if you press the button above it or below it, that'll move the selection up or down. Here you can add AI super resolution, an external monitor, and some of the other settings that we just talked about. It also has a spot to calibrate the laser on the front of it, and whether or not you want hot tracking, which I'll point out in just a minute. And connecting this to your phone or Wi-Fi is super simple. Click Network, go up to AP, and you can connect it right to your phone while you're out in the field. You do have to download the GT Share app, but then you also have access to the OSD from your phone, which I'll show you in just a sec. I have no idea what picture-in-picture would be useful for, but it's got it. And lastly, the color map and scene modes. You can do them this way, which is actually kind of the long way, versus just holding down the buttons when you're actually using the device. So a long press of the zoom will change the scene mode, while a short press of the menu will change the color palette. A quick tap of the camera button will take a picture, while a long press will start recording video. And finally, hold down the power button for 2 seconds to get it to shut off. Rawr! For my indoor testing, I wanted to see how well it could differentiate temperatures that are more mild, and also if it could pick up faint heat signatures on walls. I'm currently about 30 feet away from the device, and it seems to pick up fine. While I'm noticeably the warmest object on screen, when I move off screen it actually enhances the heat that's still left behind. Now that's cool. Now this seemed to be just as effective with the other color palettes. The only thing I thought was weird was how much heat this room is actually retaining just from me being in here. It didn't look like this when I first got here. Now the outline modes are definitely cool, and typically more useful when there's fog or smoke out, as those will typically white out the thermal, but it doesn't pick up the faint heat signatures left behind as good as the others. Now let's see how easy it is to connect and control it from your phone. To do this, all you do is open the menu and go up to Network, then finally click on AP. Your phone should find a new network that starts with Hawkeye. Go ahead and click that. And then you'll want to download the GTGuard app, which I've already done. Next, click Search Devices, and then click the thing that pops up. It's that easy. Once connected, you'll have a live stream straight to your phone, with all the controls that you previously had in the other menus. Some of these may be a tad easier to get to, and definitely quicker. And there's obviously going to be a slight delay, but it still seemed incredibly responsive. And I found some other controls that I didn't notice in the previous menus. Like here, you can change the contrast, sharpness, and brightness along with the zoom. I have no idea why you'd need to brighten it up so much, but maybe it works on stuff like lizards or snakes or other cold-blooded creatures. And if you know, drop a note in the comments and let us know. And lastly, a spot where you can download your recordings directly to your phone. Really quickly, let's talk about the construction. So it's got a removable eyepiece. The main body of it seems like hard plastic or composite material, along with metal on both the diopter and the focus ring. Feels like really good construction, and I don't feel anything moving around inside. It's got a lens cap that's rubberized or silicone, and same with the buttons. And on the bottom, you'll find a 3/8" mounting hole that's pretty standard for light stands. Now that it's nighttime, let's get back outside and do the real world tests. Alien's currently about 30 to 40 feet away from me. This has no problem tracking him, no matter which color mode I had it on. However, you will want to adjust the focus knob if you're trying to view things closer or further away. It even picked him up as he dipped behind that tree. Right now, Alien's about 50 yards away from me, but whether the object is completely in focus or not, I guess it doesn't really matter as long as you can find what you're tracking. And supposedly it has a max distance of 400 yards, but I wasn't going to take my chances of letting my boy get that far away from me.
So this was our review of the GTGuard Hawkeye AI15 for a thermal imaging device that's around 500 bucks. I think it's a pretty good buy for any hunting or outdoor enthusiast. So drop a note in the comments and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
If you like this type of content, make sure you check out our YouTube channel where we have hundreds of videos just like this. If you want to see our newest adventures, be sure to click the subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss another video.